So everybody behind us go, oh my God, are you okay? Oh, they missed the whole trailer. Whole trailer. Like, what's wrong with you, Dad? Fuck it. But with Captain America is interesting because I try to keep my boys outside of it. Like, I don't want my boys affected by it or even acknowledge the idea of what Hollywood is and what it means to the general populace. Because I want them to find their own path. And we're blessed. Like, we're put in a position where we can afford our kids the best. Mm-hmm. You know, we're in a position where our grandkids, our great-grandkids will be provided for. You know, we weren't like that. Right. You know, I know on the West Bank, you wasn't like that.
No doubt.
Yeah, y'all ate, you know, Vienna sausages and poke and beans, you know?
I did, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but that's
up.
real.
Yeah.
You know, that's where we came from. I keep my boys humble. Like, my boys have never had a pair of Jordans. You know, my boys don't do all that internet fly shit. I'm like, your kids. And no, I don't give a I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid. Mm-hmm. Do not. And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tells the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make Dad mad. Because once you get one that's right, he's going to straighten the other ones out. Mm-hmm. So it's just that thing of, you know, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open the door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night. This alarm is on. You text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
Because we're men.
Now, family, what did he say concerning the death of manhood would be or could be considered incorrect? Now, he's a man. I want to know, what did he say or could he say? Now, this is his own take. And if you ask most heterosexual men, most men, if you ask us, we will tell you there is a death in this Western hemisphere as it pertains to being a man, meaning people in this society, women for the most part, and a lot of weak men don't even want to talk about patriarchy. No, they want to talk about equality. But they talk about equality, but that stupid equality thinking and mindset don't even exist. Because it doesn't matter how much money a woman makes, she doesn't want to spend it. It doesn't matter how much a man makes, he's supposed to spend it. Where's the equality? Now, listen. You heard him say this. Now we're going to take a look at another video. Just hang tight, and you're going to see this talk show really come against everything that this man is saying, and they're coming against this by using weak, effeminate men. Stay tuned.
Alley, perhaps, because Captain America star Anthony Mackie said on the Pivot podcast that masculinity has been killed in our homes and in our communities. Very interesting. He says he's teaching his boys, always say thank you, open doors for ladies, and take care of mom. So, Miguel, as one of the men on the panel, is masculinity dead? Is the American male dead?
I mean, clearly not. We're here on the social.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know, I think that the stuff he listed at the end there, opening doors and being kind, that's like basic kindness, right? When I hear death of masculinity, I immediately feel like a red flag scenario, like it's coming from the
Family, like I said, look at these two men. Look at their vibration, their chemistry. These are effeminate men, but these are the men that women get to co-sign their so-called empowerment.
a nervous place for me. Like, what's the underlying sentiment here?
Mhm.
You know, like what kind of masculinity is dying? I think there are multiple.
The type of masculinity, sir, that you know nothing about. The type of masculinity where a man is the head of the home, the house, the castle, whatever, you know what I'm saying, you want to use as a place where, you know what I'm saying, your dwelling place.
Multiple types of masculinity. And when I hear that, I want all boys to be like broy and macho when they grow up.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being broy and macho? If you're going to be a protector and provider, let's not even say provider, you know what I'm saying? Because you got plenty of men who can protect, who can provide, but that don't mean that they can protect. They're squares like him. He's probably got some money, but he don't strike me as the type of man who's willing to go ahead and protect and be a protector.
And I think that's like a dangerous path to go down, to expect everyone to be exactly like that.
No, he expects his kids to be like that.
You know?
But isn't that what?
I totally agree. Yeah.
I think there are
And of course, the women are going to clap.
a lot of men that feel the same as you. But I guess the idea, like if the death of masculinity has happened, and people have been saying it has happened for a very long time, that idea of the bro toxic sort of strong man, if that's gone, then it feels like we haven't replaced it with anything.
You can't replace it with anything, ma'am. What can you, that's the hierarchy, that's the top. How are you going to replace something that belongs on the top?
No one has sort of offered up a definition then of what a modern man or what modern masculinity looks like. And it feels like there's this void and it's being filled. The only one to jump in and try to fill this void are the people who want to hold on to that old definition.
Right.
You know, so I had dinner last night with a 15-year-old girl. She goes to a very progressive high school. And she said that her male peers started off sort of following on Instagram people like Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson. They started off doing it as a joke, but now it's morphed into not a joke. They're taking them seriously, and that's what I'm talking
just
about.
For everybody,
filling the void.
And what do these men espouse?
These men espouse
Toxic masculinity, traditional roles.
traditional roles.
So she's saying toxic masculinity are men who believe in traditional roles. So, like as in cooking, a woman cleaning, a woman being submissive. Oh, okay, so that's toxic. But on the flip side, the on the other end of the spectrum, you're still as a woman expecting a man to be a protector, provider, to change your tire if it's on flat.
Traditional
Very
roles.
traditional roles.
Yeah.
And
What's 10 times worse than toxic masculinity?
You see, this guy, he got to be a homo. He talking about which is 10 times worse. You see, it's not the women, it's these weak men.
Yeah.
That's what some of these guys are pushing.
Yeah. What do you think? Is masculinity dead?
I don't think so. I think it's evolved because that's what
And this man has man boobs, and look at him.
we've always done as human beings. And I feel like when people talk about it, I always find it funny because the idea used to be men would go out to hunt because they were the providers. No one's hunting anymore. Okay, there's like 5% of the world that.
No, a man is hunting. Only thing is, he's not killing anything else. He's killing himself. He's going out working. You got plenty of men, you know what I'm saying? We do the most dangerous jobs. So it's still a kill or be killed environment. Every man who's getting out here being competitive, that's why 80% of men in this system die before the woman, before the wife.
Actually hunts for their food. Everyone else goes to the grocery store, and guess what? Anyone can go to a grocery store and get food. It's not a gender-based.
Who's gonna buy the food? Do women like, even though they can, do they like to spend their money to buy the food, or would they rather have a man buy their food and buy everything else that they want?
sort of activity anymore. And I feel like that involvement also, like Miguel said, like you're just teaching people to be decent human beings. That's not gender-based. Like being polite, opening doors for people, open doors for everybody.
No, I'm not gonna open doors for everybody. I'll let a man open up his own door. You understand? I'll let a man open up his own door. I don't see this is an effeminate talking point. I wouldn't open up a door for a man. I'm gonna open up the door, go in, hold it, so you know what I'm saying. He can. You don't close on him if he's close enough. Other than that, get your own door, sir.
Okay, like it doesn't. But also, I feel like
he keeps saying, I feel like both of them. Men, no man should talk about how he feels.
there's just also this idea that Anthony Mackie is being like a trailblazer, and I don't think so. As much as we've evolved and changed the roles of men and women in our society,
nobody has changed the roles of men and women in the society. You cannot change the roles of men and women because the Most High has established those roles, sir. You can't change it. You can look and try and attempt to do it, but you can't change the roles of a man being a man and a woman being a woman. You can't change the roles. And if you try, guess what? You'll get chaos. And that's what we got in this system, which is chaos.
Still, in a lot of parts of the world and still many parts of our society, it's still very much the same. So I don't feel like there's this big
I don't feel. This is a man saying I don't feel.
shift that everyone talks about, that there's a death of masculinity, when the truth is, for most people, they're still aspiring to very, very archaic stereotypes of what men should be and what women should be.
You're talking about the patriarchy, right?
Yeah. In general, like we still do a lot of different things.
You see? He's talking about the patriarchy. This is a man attempting to go ahead and dismiss patriarchy.
In our own society that still kind of goes along those lines. So I don't feel like there's this big shift that everyone talks about.
Okay.
And you still feel like there are some women who want men to be, the protector.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to call myself out. On one hand, I think, you want.
So if you want a man to be the protector, so why wouldn't a man want you to be a domestic? Even though you're working, the man works and you still want him to be a protector. So now that you want to work, you go ahead and work and still be a domestic, cook, clean.
Want like a very I want you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry, Giselle, are you hitting on the guests?
I'm still a manly man. When I go to the grocery store, I avoid the produce section. No vegetables.
I think what we do we do, but here's the thing, patriarchy and the dismantling of patriarchy. I think the patriarchy, what we've learned, at least what I've learned, is the patriarchy certainly hasn't worked for women, but I don't think the patriarchy has worked for men.
You see, how has the patriarchy not worked for women when the patriarchy is established to protect women? Ma'am, you got a ring on. The patriarchy suggests and dictates that your husband protects you and provide, which providing starts with protection.
And I think that's the part that we have to dismantle. And I also would like to say that
he's talking about that's the part we have to dismantle.
But I don't think masculinity means the death of men. And I don't think femininity equals women. I think those are traits that we all possess. What I do believe is what some people are calling the extinction burst of patriarchy. Have you heard of this concept?
No.
Is that when something is close to its end, it's almost like the backlash is fierce.
They're fighting.
They're fighting for survival. Yeah. And some people have said that that's what you call the sort of alt-right MAGA white male.
The manosphere.
The manosphere, which is...
See, that's what it boils down to, family. That's what it boils down to. It boils down to these people. It boils down to these people really rejecting something that benefits them. They're not able to do this by and large with women. So they will get men, weak men, retarded men who come on and align themselves with a woman's thinking to try and prove a point, one, two, dismantle, three, saying something that you can't dismantle, and three, to try to empower women and take power from men. It hasn't worked. It's not going to work because when you get rid of men being the type of men we're supposed to be, you endanger women because women cannot protect themselves. They just can't. They were not given that ability to do it. Because who are you going to protect yourself from? More than likely, a man. Family, you've been tuned into TWID broadcast. TWID stands for That's What I Do. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, family. All praise to the Most High.